guys, Sam here from Interstellar Audio Machines, and welcome to the Interstellar Escape Pod, episode 2, numero dos. Guys, we did it. We did it. Can we give ourselves a round of applause? All right, okay. It's the beginning of the show, so I'll give you guys a pass on that lame clapping.
Hey, we made it to 2. That's cool.
Yeah, that's enough, right? You're like, what do you want from me, dude? We made it to 2. I'm here. I'm only slightly halfway to super drunk. We're here to talk serious business, guys.
We know
episode
that's a lie.
2. Episode 2. What's in your toolbox? Now, Vince, I really feel when I say that out loud, so many things come to mind, but I'm not going to say them, right? Because we're not depraved musicians. We are professionals. We're above board. This is a very, informational show. We're not here to make people laugh and or smile while they watch this. No. Oh, no.
No, we don't want to have fun here.
No, not at all. No, that's not what we're about. But I feel like I need, like seriously, like a ton of reverb every time I say it. So, like, what's in your toolbox? Like Samuel L. Jackson style, like the Capital One commercials, You're like, what's
almost
in your
like
wallet?
a Luther Vandross sort of feel to it.
Oh, we could go like Interstellar Escape Pod after midnight.
Oh, yeah.
What's in your toolbox?
Now we're getting sexy.
Tails. All right, cool, yeah. So, as always, I got my brother from another mother and the mad scientist at Interstellar. We got our boy Eric there. Eric, wave to the people. Let them know who you is.
Sup, Pliers?
And once again, broadcasting from his cave of solitude. We got our boy Vince from Vagabond Audio. Say hi, Vince.
What's up, V Dizzle here?
No.
I swear.
I veto that.
Okay, all right. It was worth a shot.
He tried, and I vetoed. I don't know. I have this magical veto power now, apparently. I just gave it to myself just now.
Because we all agreed you were in charge, okay?
Yeah. Well,
that's fine.
That's what the people in my mind tell me.
Although Vince is the only one that looks like he's in a damn spaceship.
Yeah. Well, I love that, actually. I mean,
it's awesome.
It is very cool. I mean, there is that super dark corner that's not lit. So who you got tied up over there? That's the question.
That's pretty much a curtain. We don't talk about that.
Oh.
There's stuff back there that you don't need to know about.
We don't talk about Bruno. No.
I don't have a swing in there or anything like that. Don't worry about it.
Eric knows. We're parents. We hear that song about 30 times a day.
I'm done with that movie already.
No. If you haven't seen Encanto, go catch it. Go catch that flick.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, Vince. We've been indoctrinated. Okay?
I can tell.
When it comes to Broadway, we're there. Okay, buddy? So how you guys doing, man? Vince, what's up? What's new with you this week?
Same old stuff, man. Staying busy.
Yeah.
Pretty much making about 80 cables a day through the company and everything. So
Nice.
Wow. Staying very busy. And we're working on a new video for a pedal that a buddy of mine came out with. So we're releasing that here in a week or so.
Super dope. That's awesome. Yeah. Eric, what about you, man? How's your week going?
Just preparing to leave for Vegas in the morning.
Ooh.
Got a few shows out there to do. And maybe some interstellar business.
Ooh. Yeah, so, all right, let's get into it. Episode 2, what's in your toolbox? Box. Now I'm adding delay, okay? All right, so, picture this scenario, guys. So you're a guitar player, as many of us are, which is pretty much everybody, I would imagine, that listens to this, or a musician of sorts. You've probably played a couple of strings. Think about this. You're about to play the biggest show of your life, right? I mean, okay, let's all imagine this, right? The crowd is there. The people are there. You put out flyers and people actually showed up to your show. What?
Wait, hold on.
The flyers worked.
Flyers? Who puts out flyers anymore?
Look, I'm not old, and I definitely put out flyers, okay, for my shows. Eric, you did too. Shut up. You know you did.
Not lately.
Well, this isn't the 80s, man.
Wow, damn.
No, man.
I'm not that old.
We did
Vince.
2000s.
Whoa, Vince. Taking shots fired, bro. I don't know about that. All right. So, axe that because you guys apparently hate me. The vibe in the club, back to my scenario, okay? You're ruining the vibe here. I hate you both. The vibe in the club is hot. It's spicy. It's muy caliente. And you're about to grab your guitar and boom, right? something is not working right. Like you turn it on, oh, you're getting no sound, or you're hearing the dreaded cutting in and out, or you can't hear something, or something's, you got lights on but no audio. I mean, that's basically what's happened to me in the past. What do you do, right? We've all been there. I definitely have been there in the early years before I knew what was what, while I was cutting my teeth in the clubs. Like I said, I've been there before. I'm sure all you guys have been there, right? Once or twice. Maybe not Eric because he's perfect. But Vince, right? Come on, back me up, man. You've been there. You had a boo-boo once or twice at a show.
More than once or twice, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's happened a lot.
This is a pretty existential problem here, guys. We're going to solve today on the Interstellar Escape Pod. What do you do? Well, I'll give you one simple word. Toolbox. Should we give that lots of delay too? Toolbox. But what do you put in your toolbox, you may ask? They're like, Sam, please tell us. Oh, okay. I didn't like that. Let's. Okay, but what did you put? But what do you put in your toolbox? What's right for a guitar player may not be right for a drummer, and vice versa. Or perhaps you're a guitar tech, right? And you're responsible for more than just tuning the frets. You've got a serious job, electronics. A lot of crazy stuff you got to take care of, right? The good news for most of you guys out there is that with just a little bit of money, right, guys, or even none at all, if you have some basic tools around the house, you can build out a toolbox that could one day literally save your performance and by default your life, right? Because now all the crowd isn't like booing you. The drunk people are like, "You suck, get off the stage, you're the worst." And you go back behind the stage and cry. So, I think today something that would be really cool for everybody is to kind of dive into, a few different types of toolboxes. Kind of starting with guitar players, since Interstellar is a guitar effect pedal manufacturer, and our boy Vince creates custom pedal boards that are also known as works of art. So, I think we're going to dive into the guitar player stuff. So, I'll just kind of take the easy one, guys. I'll take the layup because, like I said, I'm tired. I feel like I've been talking the entire show up to this point, and I just want to stop. So I'm going to get through it real quick. I'm kidding. I'm going to go through this easy one so that it makes me look like I at least know what I'm talking about part of the time, and then you guys can take the hard ones. Does that sound good to you?
Sure.
That sounds fair.
Perfect. Thanks, Vince. Thanks. I like that. That
you.
sounded really positive. A basic starter toolbox. So, man, when I was touring and stuff, this was pretty much what I kind of went out with all the time. Which is to say, I could have made it, more robust or whatever, but, I did have a guitar player on tour, a lead guitar player, who was an insane guy who had, like, every tool known to man. But that's a whole nother gooch. There's one for you, buddy. He literally had everything, but he was the savior, man. He was the savior of many a time when amps blew up, different things like that. He would just pop out and fix it real quick. He was our MacGyver. But, it's the setup that I rolled out with. It's going to solve, I guess, kind of most of the most common problems that you kind of run into that aren't really like super, guitar or gear ending, if you will. So things like a 1/4-inch adapter for your headphones, if you're running tracks, or your ears, depending on what setup you are. If you're like the cool guy back behind a keyboard, you're doing guitars and keyboard, and you run some fancy headphones or something like that, that's always good to have. Plus, if you guys are on the road, and you want to pop into a little impromptu studio session or something on the bus, or at the club or whatever, it's good to have. Things like batteries, right, guys? 9
definitely.
volts, double A's. You probably can't have enough of those, to be honest with you. At least a handful to replace the stuff, at least twice over, I would say. It's like an old adage, the socks and underwear thing, right? Like, at least have like double of how many days you're going to be running around or whatever, if it's a short trip or whatever. But string winder is kind of clutch. If you pop a string real fast and you're unable to play, like it just throws the whole guitar out, and you've got a little section of the song where you can lay out for a second, boom, string winder, new string, stretch it up, like crank on it real quick, boom, you're right back in under 20 seconds, 15 seconds if you're a madman, you know what I mean? So that's like super clutch, and I like the string winders. And Vince is probably, I don't know, I want to get Vince's take on this. The string winders with the string cutter attached, or do you like just a separate string winder and then like some really dope snips? Yeah, there you go.
Get the string winder and that on the attachment.
So you like the combo?
Yep.
I like the combo too. That's my favorite. What about you, Eric? Oh, dissension.
No, I do like the combo. We use the drill one too a lot, so you kind of have to have both if you're using a drill.
Well, yeah, well, you can talk about that in your fancy section. Okay, we're talking about basic toolbox here now.
Well, you can't afford a little drill?
No, man, no.
We're not all rich like you.
Yeah, there you go. So like another great thing, needle nose pliers. Yeah, I guarantee you got those laying around your house. 99% of you probably have those. Laying around your house, and if not, they're super cheap.
Steal them from your dad.
Yeah, well, we don't condone illegal activity on the show.
It's your dad.
Again, that's Eric at interstellaraudioMachines.com. Let him know. Comment section. Let him know. Dude, I'm gonna inadvertently blow your email address up. He can just beep that part out or whatever.
You can have a lawsuit coming his way.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I always used to like is like a knife, and now that sounds kind of bad, but just like a little folding knife. I don't know the cool knife terms. Maybe you guys have a better idea of the cool knife terms.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, sure, Swiss Army knife. One of those little guys that I call it a lock blade, so that when you flip it out, it locks in, so you don't crank it back on yourself and lose a finger while you're trying to do something stupid to your guitar really fast. You might need those when you're playing guitar. Yeah, a little lock blade or a Swiss Army knife, any little thing like that. You never know. It's just one of those like kind of utilitarian things. It's just good to have around. Small zip ties. I'm a big fan of zip ties. Keep things orderly, keep things nice, keep things legit. Or, if there's a crappy plug that you're plugged into, somehow a zip tie I bet could fix it. I don't know. It's like zip ties, gaff tape. You can't go wrong when you got those in your box, your toolbox. Things like a mini flashlight, right? Like a little flashlight that you can have. If you're at a club where the lighting's not so great and you're like digging around in the darkness, you're not going to get anything done, right? I mean, how many times have you guys been there?
Oh yeah, definitely need
Yeah. Yeah. So flashlight for sure. Small set of Allen wrenches. Those things are, again, super cheap. Or if you're Eric, you steal them from your dad. And a couple small screwdrivers, flathead Phillips. Now here's a question, and a burning question that I think everybody's wondering. Are you guys a Phillips or a flathead kind of guy?
Phillips,
yeah.
Way more torque behind it.
Yeah, you can get in there and get out. We can get that. We can edit that out too, because I don't know if that was good either. We'll see. Comment below. Let's see. What else? Okay, Sharpies, right? Sharpie. Sharpie and gaff tape, they are your friend.
Yep.
Sharpies are awesome. You can label stuff. You can write a crappy set list real quick. If you guys don't think ahead and have your show planned out, you just kind of write it on the fly like, hey, man, what are we going to play tonight? I don't know, man. What song you want to start with? Hey, Vince, let's start with Tear Out My Heart. I don't know. I don't know. Pick a song that you like. Like I mentioned, gaff tape for sure. Extra picks, extra strings, common sense stuff. Here's a funny thing. If you're running in ears, and you were like me in the beginning, I finally got my first in-ears, and I was like, oh man, this is phenomenal. But I wasn't sponsored. I wasn't cool guy Eric Bice. I didn't have free gear thrown at me. You know what I mean? Like, I had to claw my way to the top. So yeah, I could only afford one set when I started. That's just the way it was. That's the reality of the situation. So I had like a cheapy set of headphones. Literally, dude, that's all you need. Little cheapy set of headphones, and I put some gaff tape around it to tie up the two loose ends so it was nice and tight. And it worked, man. I mean, sometimes one of your things, your ears might go out, and you don't have time to, fix it right away. Nope. The show's got to go on, and especially if you guys are running tracks, or you're playing to a click, or anything like that, and you're just not really rehearsed up on your cues from your drummer. Because Eric saved my ass a few times when our tracks or our in-ears went dead, or the mix was bad, or the audio guy completely blew his job because he's out back smoking crack, and then comes in, sounds great, guys. Yeah, sounds great. And you're like, all you hear is like feedback in your ears. But yeah, so, just little cheapies, man. Literally, if you're on a flight or at a 7-Eleven, they've got them there like $5. They'll give them to you free on a flight nowadays. World's crazy now. Free earbuds. Other basics like extra 1/4-inch cables, XLR cables, speaker cables. You definitely want to have at least one backup. Patch cables for if you got to run a pedal board, power supplies, extra power supplies, and power supplies for your heads or your amps or whatever too. You want to have at least one backup of those because they will fail, and they will fail at the worst time ever. Yep. And you don't want to be, like we said in the last show, you don't want to be that lame guy that's like, hey man, can I borrow your gear, bro? Can I borrow your...
You got extra IEC cable?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Whoa, see? Eric getting fancy again. Jeez. I'm going to go sit over here and drink a beer while you have your champagne, sir. I know I've kind of been talking a lot, but honestly, that's a really small list. It may seem like a decent bit of stuff, but literally, trust me, you can fit most of that stuff. If you have a pedal board, you can cram some stuff in there, or underneath, if you've got a really small pedal board that fits into a case. Your guitar case, there's always little pockets where you can drop some stuff in there. Definitely, if you don't have a toolbox or you don't want to carry an extra toolbox, you can fit it in existing stuff. But if you can get a nice toolbox, I'd recommend at least grabbing a little cheapy. And you can steal your dad's fishing, tackle box too. Look, what does your dad have? Because Eric is very curious. He wants to take it. He wants to come over and steal it. Because that's what's happening today. But all right, so I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna relax these golden vocal cords here. Yeah.
The golden god over here.
Yeah, dude, straight up. And Vince, I'm gonna pass it off to Vince because he's gonna give you guys a little bit deeper dive. If you really want to juice up your toolbox, on the guitar front, the pedal front. A kind of higher end version. All right, so Vince, take it away, man. Let them know.
So our lists do coincide a lot. So
because I'm awesome.
You're just incredibly smart and handsome and talented.
God, it's hard.
It is. It must be hard being you, and I feel blessed to be your friend.
Aw, we're friends.
We are.
That's so
we
nice.
can be more than friends, but we'll talk about that after dark.
Oh my god!
Oh snap!
Well, now you're on Eric's wavelength. He just smiled. It's like, who's hungry? Who's hungry?
Interstellar After Dark.
Oh yeah.
What's in your toolbox?
We're gonna get sued for that one.
Professional, guys. Professional.
So, first on my list was a tuner, just simple, basic. Especially if you're a tech. If you don't have a tuner, you're an idiot. Just call it what it is. Yeah. Spare capos, because I've had them bust on me mid-show where like the spring pops out and you're up the creek with no paddle. Like you said, spare picks. You should at least have a fresh pack at all times because they disappear on you sometimes. Strings, and like we were saying earlier, the string winder. The drill one Eric was talking about is ideal because it's super quick. But I mean, these work just as well, especially with the string cutter. You can change a string in 30 seconds if you know what you're doing. So as far as the main tool that I always keep in my kit is a multi-tool, like a little Gerber or Leatherman.
Yeah.
So it has the needle nose pliers on it. It has your screwdriver. It has a little pocket knife. It has sometimes a small ruler in there. Like whatever you could possibly need for the most part is in there for tools. I always have one. I think I have one in each of my guitar cases, if I'm not mistaken. Just in case, whatever guitar I take, I always have one.
Yep.
Allen wrenches for sure, especially if you need to, adjust the action on your guitar or something like that. You realize that you need them more when you don't have them.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you can really easily look over, but when you need them and you don't have them, you're like, oh, I actually do use these a lot more. Velcro, you'd be surprised how many times Velcro would come in handy, especially for pedal boards. Most people are using Velcro to hold their pedals down, so sometimes that comes undone, or like the fuzzy side just loses its stickiness. I've had it so many times where that happens.
The fuzzy side loses the stickiness.
Yeah.
Hey, it happens.
As a fuzzy man, I can say from experience, sometimes it just loses its stickiness.
Hold on, let me.
God damn.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that kind of show, guys.
Velcro.
Yeah. So in my case, I use a 3M dual lock for pedals. So I usually keep a small 5-foot roll in my kit, just in case. But Velcro is super easy and cheap to get. You can get it at Walmart. Spare instrument cables and patch cables. You good?
I got the giggles now, dude. You said a 5-inch roll, and I just lost it again. Dude, I'm punchy, man. I'm sorry. Okay, I will.
You need to grow up, Sam.
Never.
Speaking of that lock Velcro, I'm gonna fly your ass here so I can put a fuzz squatch on this pedal board. I'm like, that stuff's on there, man. It's awesome.
So what I use is it's I guess an upholstery crowbar. It's for removing the upholstery from a car, like the seats and shit.
Yeah.
It's like a plastic crowbar, and use that. You have to actually pry them off. Yeah, it's a pain if you want to swap a pedal out, but at least if you're going on a gig or you're putting your board, you're checking your board on a flight or something like that, nothing's gonna come off.
Yeah.
So it's a trade-off.
They're on there.
Yep.
I feel like that's a super pro tip. Like, we just peeled back a serious layer off this onion. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
know,
awesome.
The upholstery crowbar.
Yeah.
I would have never put that one on.
Yeah.
And that's why Vince gets the big bucks.
Sure.
Dude, don't act like we're not making it rain with this show. This show has, what do we have, 4 or 5 followers at this point, or listeners?
Yeah. All of the endorsements we've got coming
Seriously.
in. I mean,
Seriously. McDonald's,
yeah.
Pepsi,
Monsters
Fender,
on board.
Fender,
Nike.
$14.2 million. Sounds good.
You let me know when that money's rolling in.
Yeah. I'll talk all day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On a beach.
That's right.
Damn right. So I've got mic stands, extra mic stand. I have an entire pile of mic stands in the corner back there that were given to me by the drummer in the band that I'm in, that have all just shit the bed after playing so many shows. So they're now studio mic stands, but you'd be surprised. Sometimes they just break. So having 1 or 2 extras can't hurt.
Yep.
The wall wart power supplies for pedals. Sometimes cables go bad, or you just need a spare one. I always have 1 or 2 in my kit. Like Eric was saying earlier, IEC cables, they go bad, or the opening band or headline or whatever needs an extra cable because they forgot theirs at home.
Yep.
I had it happen at the last show I played. Dude asked me for a cable, and luckily I had a whole kit's worth, but
Because you had a toolbox.
exactly.
There you go.
I have
Good.
all my stuff in this big military grade tote. So
Good thing for your amp, it's has a hardwired cable, doesn't it?
Yeah. But I always keep a handful of them in there because you never know.
Yeah.
And my pedal board uses one anyway, so.
Yeah.
Batteries, fairly self-explanatory. So for me, I always keep an amp in a box. So I use the Strymon Iridium.
Yep.
So just in case my amp goes down, I have basically a pedal that will let me go DI into the PA system and be my amplifier. So it doesn't matter what's going on. I know I always have a dedicated amp that essentially won't fail on me.
Yeah.
So instead of lugging around a whole extra combo or a head and cabinet, I have this. And obviously it's not necessarily the same thing, but it will do in a pinch.
That's awesome.
And with that, DI boxes.
Yep.
I always keep at least 2 with me because you'll never know when you need them. Hearing protection. Aside from my in-ears, I keep just a spare like the foam, like 3M earplugs.
Yep.
So another thing I've talked to other people about is amp tubes, but I know they're not just easy to swap out, and the amp needs to be rebiased and all that.
Yeah.
So it can hurt to have them, but it's probably one of those things that don't want to do yourself unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But can't hurt.
And that's something you could take pre-hand if like you're actually doing like a week run, 2-week run.
Mm-hmm.
So after like a show, you're like, it's sounding bad. So you take the daytime to change it. I wouldn't change it right before a show.
No, definitely not. No. But I don't know how to do it, but I keep a spare set here. I don't really ever take them out with me because I don't know what I'm doing. But
Yeah. Unless you have a self-biased amp.
Don't say that out loud, Vince. They're buying it so far.
I'm a professional.
Is that the end of your list?
2
or do
more.
you have more?
I have 2 more.
2 more. Okay.
2 more.
All right. We got it.
Going off what you were saying, zip ties and duct tape. They will fix the world.
Yeah, man.
Zip ties are all over my pedal board. Most of my cables are held together with zip ties. So that and duct tape. I have a massive roll of like 6-inch wide duct tape that I keep in my kit.
So you go duct tape over gaff tape?
Well, so for me, I may or may not have what we call tactically acquired this
You mean
military
tactically
grade,
acquired
from my father,
Yeah.
this hefty roll of tape. So I'm
Nice.
using it until it runs out, and then
There
I'll
you go.
probably go over to gaff tape. But yeah, I have it. Why not use it?
100%.
And the other thing is a label maker.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Keeping a small one of those with me. You know, if you have to buy new cables or something like that while you're out during the daytime, throw a label on them so you don't lose them. I keep a label on my pedal board, on the back of my amps, stuff like that. And it's small, but it's just a little identifier for me.
Yeah.
So never know when you'll need that. But that's it for me.
well, I can say that I'm excited and thrilled about what you just said.
Thank you.
That's not a good segue.
Well, the good thing about the you talk about duct tape. I don't ever use duct tape except for like when we're on the road, and say like Sam and I were on the road together. Using gaff tape for your set list is way too expensive, because gaff tape is way expensive. So duct tape is amazing. Roll it up, stick it to the floor. It's your gaff tape. You can spend a lot of money.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the reasons why I use duct tape is just because it's cheaper and essentially does the same job for the most part.
But it is sticky as crap, and doesn't come up well.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. So don't put. I put that stuff on my cables back in the day to put it down, and it just leaves the residue all over it, and you're just like, ah.
Yeah.
I stopped using it for cables. It's mainly for like if something needs to be fixed. But our drummer usually carries a roll of gaff tape with him if we need for cables. But this is more just a precautionary thing.
Cool.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, what you got for the people, man?
I just kind of touched base on the stuff that kind of wasn't in that list. Super glue, for obviously reasons, but there's also people use it. Guitar players use either super glue or new skin on their fingers. You'll get a blister and try fretting a chord with that. New skin helps big time, just to have that stuff. Always have Band-Aids, a little first aid kit in your toolbox, even though it's not for your guitar, it's for yourself. Automotive paint, like the model paint and stuff like that. It's really easy to
Yes, we got one. Take a shot. That should be like a game on our podcast. Every time some cool guy drags out behind my house, and you can hear it on the show. Take a shot.
I'm gonna be drunk as hell.
Yeah. Well, that's one. That's
Compared to the first episode.
So so with the automotive paint, it's better than E-tape and stuff like that, because E-tape ends up coming off. So like Guitar Player 1 and 2, they label their guitar cables with like red or yellow or whatever color they want, so everybody knows that's for that player, that's for that player. At the end, and then you always know where your cables are. Pretty much, you can always say, "Well, that's my cable because I have the blue paint on it." Basically, it's just to keep track of what you got out on the road. Sharpies, pens, like you mentioned, a soldering iron. Always carry.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
They're so cheap, but man, fixing cables, fixing even guitars, you need something like that. For Sam, extra deodorant. Oh, sorry.
Man, my natural essence is like so good.
Yeah.
Smoky.
Extra DIs, like Vince mentioned, but like I carry extra DIs because I was running the tracks, which is a big deal. So I had to carry stereo DIs, but if one of those went out, our whole show's kind of messed up, since we, depending on the tracks, to one, keep our time for the whole show, to run little extra noises that it's hard to replicate live. We're not having like full-on vocals or anything crazy like that.
Right.
Contact cleaner. Keep all your stuff after a show, during the daytime when you're setting up at the next show. Just keep it all clean, nice, so you don't have any problems. Man. Oh, I always did this in my toolbox, and I would put it underneath something so it wouldn't be easily found. I would put an extra $20 taped under there. So when we're in a pinch and everybody's like, "Bro, we're out of money. We have no gas." Blah blah blah.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
That's smart.
But I was thinking you were going to use it for something else.
No, it was to save your ass.
Comment below what you think Bice used his $20 for.
4 $5 footlongs for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, or if you're a vegetarian, you just go in to like the gas station hot dog stand and you just like get all the sauerkraut and tomatoes and onions, and you guys are laughing, but I've seen it happen. I didn't do it, but I saw a guy do it regularly on the road to save his per diems.
We may or may not have a guitar player that kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
Gucci Gooch.
Well, I wasn't gonna say his name.
I love him. He's not gonna watch. He's not gonna watch us.
Put his address below.
Yeah.
In the description.
He was awesome. I have a few more, I guess.
Hey man, lay him out.
You're just gonna laugh though.
Oh, okay. Well,
Lubricant.
Okay.
Lubricant.
What? I don't get it. Why is that funny?
So you'll want guitar polish, neck polish. What is that stuff people wipe on their strings.
Oh, I have it. It's
Fast fret.
Fast fret, yes.
yeah.
Fast fret.
Yeah, just stuff like that, just to make your life easier on the road. Because
It's all about longevity, right?
Yep.
Keeping yourself healthy, keeping your fingertips in good action.
Did
Did you guys ever play? So I know we've been talking a lot about electric, but he just talked about something, which maybe I'm going to go off on a tangent here for a second. So that's what's happening. Do you guys remember what were the coated strings, the elixirs back in the day, the acoustic strings? Were you guys ever acoustic players?
Not as often. I've always gravitated more towards electric.
Great. So I'll tell the story about myself. So there were those strings out, and they were called elixirs, and they had that coating over them, which was, for me, I bought into the hype initially, man, because I was like, oh my gosh, because at the time I was like, just playing bars, 3 hours every night, essentially covers, playing the hell out of things. So you do chew up your fingers, like you were saying, Eric. Even if you have crazy calluses and whatnot. So I remember I was like all about those things when they first came out. But since you guys never played acoustic, apparently, you can't feel me.
I know some guys that use them. I think they make electric strings also?
They started to at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
I was into elixirs when I first started, like back in high school.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They're just stupid expensive, honestly.
They were.
So I moved away from them. And they're great strings. They're just... I can't justify the cost.
So that's Vince at vagabondaudio.com. No.
Bougie.
Needs an endorsement.
Yeah.
Yep. I will take all the free things.
And you'll say their name 100 times during the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Subliminal messaging all the time.
We'll run like a little ticker, like
Yep.
the news, right across the bottom.
Yep.
Buy this.
I'm Vince Elixir.
Vince Elixir, I was young. How do you say your last name again?
How do you say my last name?
Degogio?
Dizois.
No?
You know what? I've actually gotten that one pretty often. Did you say Degogio? Degogio?
Degogio? I don't know.
DiGiorno?
That's the most common one,
It's not
honestly.
delivery.
Yeah.
It's Vince.
All right, tell us now, because
Di gioia. I mean,
Di gioia.
it's joyful in Italian, if that helps at all.
Joyful.
I get
like
Digimon, Digua, Digorgia, Diggiorno, apparently Degogio,
Degogio. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I get
gonna
Digio.
Now that you said DeJoy,
D-I-G-O.
Yeah. Yep.
it means joy into Italian. That's cool.
Yeah.
Just like,
That
you
is
know,
cool.
do you know what Encanto means?
Encanto.
Is it love?
No, you know what it means?
Love?
Encanto. Enchanted, right? No?
Charming.
Charming? Oh, enchanting, charming.
Okay.
Hey, Vince, edit this so I was right and he was wrong.
Gotcha.
It'll be my voice on his.
Yeah, I'm charming. Oh my god.
We're in a Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah. That's funny, dude. It's that kind of show this week, guys.
Hey.
Stay tuned for next week, right?
It's good though. We're catching a flow. We're getting comfortable.
Yeah, no worries. It's
The
all
endorsements
good.
are going to be rolling in soon.
Oh, for sure.
We need another car scene coming from your house.
Yeah, at least one more. Take a shot. I think we should really do that every time somebody drives by. We should put a little bing, 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 take a shot up there. I think it would be hilarious, dude.
And then a little race car, like...
Yes. Goes by. Dude. Like a 90s,
Yeah.
transition wipe. Pulls the screen across. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Dude.
my.
I want to kick my own ass right now. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. If we had built up any cool cred off the first episode, it's all
It's gone.
now.
It's okay, though. It's totally okay. I'm cool with this.
I'm cracking my toes in front of the microphone so you could hear that too. All right, so I'll give a little out here so we have something official at the end. So Yeah, guys. I mean, that's the good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This will save your show. And like I said, by default, your life, so you don't get booed off the stage when your rig's cutting out. I hope all you guys, in amongst our nonsense this week, got some nice insights. And we definitely wish you guys luck out there, as you build your own personalized toolbox. So don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment, leave lots of comments for Eric specifically, and hit that bell icon, man. Ring the mother bell, you know what I'm saying? Get the notifications for new videos, and we'll see you next time on the Interstellar Escape Pod.